Today I'm going to be talking about power plants and the impacts that they have on the environment. I'm going to try making this speech as nuanced as possible because there are many different sides to this debate, and I want to make sure that you understand it fully before you decide what side you're on. I'm going to start things off by telling you a little bit about how electricity is produced. There are many different sources of electrical energy production. There's geothermal, solar, hydroelectric, nuclear, coal, and petroleum. The burning of coal is one of the most commonly used methods of generating electrical energy because coal has a very high potential chemical energy. Coal is burned heating water until it becomes steam. This steam is used to turn a turbine in a coal-burning power plant. The turbine spins, and then that gets converted into electrical energy. The implications of burning coal to generate power. Although coal is very energy rich, it's not very clean. It contains a wide variety of very harmful toxins, such as lead. Coal also produces greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, which is responsible in large part for global warming. The burning of coal also releases sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxides, which produce acid rain when they mix with the rainwater in clouds in the upper atmosphere. Acid rain. The combustion of coal releases the sulfur contained within the coal. This then rises up into the upper atmosphere and mixes with rainwater, which can be carried around, and once precipitation finally occurs and the rainwater comes back down to the earth, it's capable of damaging things such as monuments, statues, it's capable of killing things like trees, it's actually capable of harming human beings and animals. The production of nitrogen oxides can also occur. This happens when coal is burnt because there's so much heat that it produces nitrogen, and again the nitrogen rises up into the upper atmosphere and mixes with clouds and comes back down in rainwater, and this rainwater, this acid rain, is highly acidic, and it can be very damaging to both buildings, monuments, and living things. Carbon dioxide and global warming. Carbon dioxide is actually the compound that scientists estimate is the most responsible for global warming. Since the Industrial Revolution, the burning of coal and the burning of other carbon-based fuels such as gasoline has caused global temperatures on average to rise much more than they ever have in the course of Earth's history. And the burning of coal releases a great deal of carbon dioxide and even other harmful gases which contribute to global warming. Impacts on local communities near power plants. As you can see in the picture that I included in my presentation, this is one of the after effects of acid rain. The acid rain came down and it actually killed all of the trees around the power plant. A lot of the time, people that live near power plants are more susceptible to things such as cancer, and there have been many lawsuits because of this against coal-burning power plants. Changes that can be made to help these communities. Some of the changes that can be made to help these communities is to make sure that the power plants aren't built next to towns. This would really help. In addition to this, there could also be modernizations made to the power plants, such as coal scrubbers, which are put in the smokestacks of nuclear power plants. These coal scrubbers are made of things such as limestone. The limestone is capable of reacting with nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide, creating what's known as an acid-base neutralization, which neutralizes the acidic effects of the nitrogen and the sulfur. The EPA and changes in government policy. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has called for carbon emissions in the United States to be cut by 30% in the decades to come. The EPA has given power companies a large amount of flexibility to achieve this goal. They do this because they understand that the energy industry has a lot of jobs in it, and they know that it's going to cost a great deal of money to undergo these modernizations, but the EPA still believes that it's necessary. One side of the argument. Though this may all seem like a clear-cut issue with a simple solution, it actually isn't. Implementing policies that regulate the emissions produced by U.S. power plants often results in extremely expensive upgrades, and the cost of these upgrades is oftentimes passed on to American consumers, and a lot of the time jobs are cut and lost. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce estimates that the EPA's new regulations will cost the U.S. economy $50 billion and 250,000 jobs in the years to come. The other side of the argument. The other half of the argument is given by environmentalists. These environmentalists acknowledge that this will be very expensive and many jobs will be lost and it will likely cause an economic downturn. But in their eyes, in the long run, preserving the earth, home to all human beings and all living things, is preferable to an economic downturn in the short run. My stance. I believe that the environmentalists and the EPA are right in what they are doing because I believe in the long run we need to protect our home more than we need to protect jobs. I believe that the earth is more important than financial gain is. In conclusion, the emissions generated by coal-burning power plants are very problematic, even if they are well regulated, but it is also important to understand that we are still very reliant upon fossil fuels, and it's impossible to simply phase them out. All things take time, and I believe that we should all collectively focus our efforts on finding renewable forms of energy and conserving power individually. You might think that as an individual it's impossible for you to make a difference, but this is simply not the case.